We're entrepreneurs and businessmen. We fall in love with our companies. It's normal, but you got to stay out of that 99% mindset. The day you start a company is the day you say to yourself, every decision from this point forward is to maximize the sale of my business. Get that trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. The big news, the brand new news that not many people know about is I sold my father and son award-winning 7-year barbershop this past Friday. It was official. I sold my local barbershop to a couple of young entrepreneurs who have experience in the business, really terrific guys, and they're going to keep on my two barbers that I have there, both fantastic girls. A win-win situation. It was time for me after 7 years of imagining that company and building that company and fixing up that building on one of our main streets. It was a hellhole, and we fixed it up. We put the nice awnings on. We cleaned the place up. We created some jobs. We sponsored lots of charities, and we were the #1 barbershop for 6.5 years in the country. So I'm happy to announce that I sold the barbershop. It's time for somebody else to take that to the next level. I want all my focus on one thing in business, and that is I want it focused on my mission in business, and I have one mission: to help 1 million elite, driven, and generous businessmen just like you. Men that are 45 or older, married with children and grandchildren, successful, but maybe struggling in one or two other areas in your life. Maybe it's marriage, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's money, maybe it's health, maybe it's fitness, maybe it's time management. Maybe it's just community service. You need a kick in the pants to give back more and find out who you're supposed to serve. But nonetheless, that's the good news, is that piece of the pie. I sold my hockey team, I sold McLean Insurance, and now I created and sold this company. Keep in mind, don't fall in love with your business. We're entrepreneurs and businessmen. We fall in love with our companies. It's normal, but you got to stay out of that 99% mindset. The day you start a company is the day you say to yourself, every decision from this point forward is to maximize the sale of my business. When I ran McLean Insurance for 17 glorious years with my dad, every decision I made for 17 years, regardless of who I hired, our marketing, television ads, the color of the building, everything, the construction of the offices, the technology, was all, does this increase and maximize the equity in this business? Does this make this business worth more money when I eventually want to walk away into the sunset? That is next level thinking. And I did the same thing with the barbershop. I opened up the barbershop, and always in the back of my mind, big payday. The day that I don't want to do this anymore is the day I walk away into the sunset on my terms. And every decision I made inside of that place over 6, almost 7 years was, where's the profit in this? Does this create equity in the business? And if it doesn't, then the answer is no. So interesting. Same with my hockey team. I took that from on the emergency operating table, dead last on the ice, dead last off the ice. And we turned that program around for 7 years. And then, after we won the Barclay Cup in 2019, we had a hell of a powerhouse team to defend. And we were actually the last junior hockey game ever played before the virus hit. And as soon as the virus hit, something in me, I got up a few days later and I didn't want to go to the rink for the first time. So I said to myself, you know what? I've achieved my goal. I've won a championship that people said we couldn't do. It was time to hand that off to somebody who could take it to the next level. And that's it. If you wake up and you don't want to do it, or you hate your job or whatever it is, stop and do something else. Life is too short. If you can find a way to make good money doing something you have obsession and passion for, you'll never really work a day in your life. I mean, work is hard. There's lots of things that we don't like doing, but you got to have genuine love for what you do. So in all of these businesses, I always kept in mind there's a finish line. I always kept in mind that I was always going to sell them when they were at their peak. And I was always going to sell them when I no longer had passion and obsession for them. And every decision I made in all of those companies I just met, the hockey team, the barbershop, and the insurance agency, every decision, spending money, hiring people, firing people, does this make us better? Does this increase the equity in the business? And does this increase the eventual sale price of the business? And when I answered those questions, a lot of things were just a hard no. No. This doesn't help us get better or doesn't help us become more profitable. The answer is no. So it's just something to keep in mind. I do a training, and I'm going to put it below here. Some of you have seen it, but it's a web training that I did on the secrets to selling your business, to selling your company. And I'm going to repost this in the email, and I'm also going to post the link below if you're watching this on YouTube. And it's an advanced training I did about a year ago, and it was really well received especially by my top 5%er guys, top 1%er guys, mastermind guys. Is when you're eventually wanting to walk away into the sunset, when it's time to do something different, and that's different for everybody. I put this training together for when it's time to walk away into the sunset on your terms, how to sell your business for more money than you ever thought possible, faster than you ever thought possible. I sold a $17 million insurance agency in 12 months without any interruptions. I hired an acquisition company. I sold the barbershop in 60 days. That deal took less than 60 days. Thank you, Marc-Andre, for your referral of the new buyers. I sold my hockey team with one single meeting with my assistant coach and his spouse. You've always got to be thinking about the day comes when you don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to be in a situation where you get sick or somebody gets sick or the industry changes or the recession comes or whatever it is. No. You got to always be building, making it more profitable, equity, and then go out on your own terms. My dad went out on his own terms at 85. He stopped working at 85. I wanted to work my ass off from 35 to 45, and I retired at 47. Semi-retired at 47, so I missed it by 2 years, but I got to a safe harbor financial position by age 47. I worked my ass off from 35 to 45. I put everything at, there was no life balance. I wasn't married. I wasn't a father. And then I got married near the end. And then when I sold McLean Insurance, it was like safe harbor position. And now I'm going to live, I'm going to build a world around family and around my wife and my daughter. So you got to have a plan. I can't emphasize that enough. But watch this training. It's about 90 minutes. And I share all the details. I probably shouldn't, but I do share the details of how I sold my hockey club. I share the details of how I sold my award-winning insurance agency, McLean Insurance. That was a big deal, right? One of the top agencies in the country. And I talk about how I made a mistake selling the business. I made a mistake selling McLean Insurance that cost me $300,000, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. I didn't listen to my golden gut, and I made a huge mistake, and it cost me $300,000. And I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money. And I share in there how to avoid making that mistake. So this training will be below this video, and I'll put it in the PS as well. It's a really great training. Speaking of other trainings, my brand new mastermind is starting up for 5 and 6 figure businessmen. It's starting up in December. You're going to be left on the sidelines. It's your only opportunity this new year to work personally with me. There's going to be 50 men in this mastermind. It's online. There's no traveling. There's no airports. There's no restaurant. None of that stuff. Every 2 weeks we do an advanced training. You have access to me personally for the full 12 months. I'm going to bring in every 90 days and interview celebrity entrepreneurs like Kevin O'Leary, Andy Frisella. I might bring in an NBA head coach maybe. I'm going to bring in Ben Hardy, the best-selling author of Willpower Doesn't Work. I'm going to bring in Tim Grover, who wrote Relentless and wrote Winning, and Michael Jordan's personal trainer. So every 90 days, I'm going to do one of those trainings as well. So you need to click on the link below. It's badassworldbuilders.com, badassworldbuilders.com. And it's 5 questions. It's 5 questions and a $97 refundable deposit. And I'll read your application and I'll get back to you within 7 days. And I'll let you know whether you're in or out. I'll let you know whether I'm the right coach or whether you're the right person. And if not, I'll refund your $97. And if you're in, you're in. And it's priced for a person who's got a 5-figure business or a 6-figure business who wants to get to that $1 million a year 7-figure. It's so hard to get to that level if you don't have the association of other men who've already gotten there. I know what that's like. It's not about working harder. 2023, you want to get to 7 figures a year. You're not going to do it reading books. You're not going to do it watching videos. You have to live the badass world building lifestyle. You need to get coached from somebody who makes 7 figures a year. You need to hang around other brothers who make 7 figures a year. You need to hang around and think the same way as people who've done it before. But if you think you're going to get to that next level just, watching free videos and reading a book or a newsletter, that's not the case. That helps, but that doesn't transform. So if you're interested in really transforming your business, your wealth, your marriage, your relationship with your kids, the whole enchilada, then we're badassworldbuilders.com. 5 questions. It takes 1 minute. I'll get your application. I'll read it and I'll get back to you. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, I'll refund your $97 application. It's really that simple. Are you ready? Are you ready to start punching above your weight in the new year? Or is 2023 just going to be more of the same? Is it going to be more of the Joe average stuff where you're trying to do it on your own and you're addicted to your cell phone and you're fatiguing and it's just a grind every day? Or do you want to turn it around like my top 1%ers do and build your own world? It's totally up to you. Nobody's going to change your world until you change. And the best way to change, like my wife told me when I was whining and crying and complaining about being a 5-figure businessman, then a 6-figure businessman, and I was stuck there, I plateaued. She says, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You're not willing to invest with Glazier and Kennedy. You're not willing to invest and be in the best, 30 grand to be around those guys. She said, you're just wasting time. You're wasting years of our life trying to get to the 7 level. And she said, you can do it by investing and hanging out with people that make, say, 7 figures. So I got in a mastermind where I hung out with Russell Brunson and I hung out with Beth Davis and I hung out with Michael Cage and I hung out with Dan Kennedy and I hung out with Bill Glazier and I hung out with Bill Gaw. And all of a sudden, Michael McLean went from a 5 to 6 to 7-figure income guy. I got in the best physical shape, mental shape. My marriage improved. We started to have a family. We bought this place out here on the lake. I bought real estate. I was making 7 figures a year, and I grew an 8-figure net worth. None of that happens without the power of a mastermind. Why do you think Napoleon Hill talks about it in Think and Grow Rich? He talks about the power of a mastermind, and who does he talk about? He talks about Henry Ford, he talks about Andrew Carnegie, and he talks about Rockefeller, the 3 most powerful and richest men, in America, getting together, once a year, once a month, once every quarter, and sharing ideas because they were non-competitors. The best of the best are in masterminds. Mark Cuban said the other day he's in a mastermind. Elon Musk is in a mastermind. Steve Jobs was in a mastermind. Warren Buffett's in a mastermind. Dana White's in a mastermind. Even great coaches. When I was coaching hockey, I was in a hockey mastermind. And I've listened to Bobby Knight. I've listened to Tim Grover. I've been at the best of the best coaching symposiums and just learning and growing from the best. So immerse yourself in the best. Invest in yourself this year. badassworldbuilders.com. That's it. The jet ski comes out tomorrow, so I'm out here bombing around. This thing can go 91. I bought it 3 years ago, so I don't have to take out the big pontoon boat. I got a 1670 on the back of the pontoon. And I love to take my daughter Emery tubing, and she's a wakeboarder and a skier now. So instead of chugging along with the tank, we bought this Sea-Doo 3 years ago, and man, is it fun. It's not as bad on gas as I thought. They've really improved them. People on the lake fucking hate them, because kids get on them, but they're not as noisy, and the gasoline, the fuel is better. Don't buy them if you're gonna worry about that. But oh my God, we're out on the water so much because it's so easy. Just fill and go, and pulling the kids behind on the tube or skiing is just so much fun for the summer. So I really enjoy it. So this is one of the last so-called rips of the fall. And then I'm going to put it away, and it won't be long till we're heading to Naples after Christmas. So I love this time of year. I don't know if you can see behind us. Look at those trees. Look at the colors of those trees. It's the only time, I don't know if you know this, but it's the only time of year last week where every major sports league is playing. And I'm a huge sports guy, right? I'm a former pro coach, amateur coach, but I'm a sports guy too. I love coaching. So the NHL is going. We're near the World Series. We're in the Final Four of baseball. You've got the NBA going, and you got the NFL going, and you got college football going. Like, what the hell more do we want? And you got bonfires and campfires. The smell out here at night, because people are on the lake, they're still here, and most people have their boats out, but we still have ours in. But the smell at night, we sit out by the campfire, and you can smell the smell of the fire around the lake. And just, it was a full moon here a week ago, and just sitting out there with Krista. Who wants to watch TV? Who needs to listen to the news? Who needs to do any of that horse shit of the ordinary when you can do this kind of stuff? So watch that training. I'll put the link below this video, and I'll also put it in the email, and let me know what you think. You can reply to these emails, these videos, and Leanne will print them off and put them on my desk. I'm a paper and ink guy, and I reply to everybody. So I don't get the emails, but I will reply to you. Remember, no matter what, we say, we tell our wife and our kids every day before the sun sets how much we love them, how much we appreciate them, and how important they are to us. There's a last time for everything. Life is a gift, and the greatest gifts are standing right in front of our eyes in our homes. Make sure every day. That's it. That's all. Check out the training below, and if you're interested in the mastermind, make a decision. World Builder, badassworldbuilders.com. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that'll change yours. Be relentless.